بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. There is a hadith in Sahih Muslim where Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam states that when the month of Dhu'l Ḥijjah begins and one of you wants to do or has to do the sacrifice or the udhiyah on the 10th of Dhu'l Ḥijjah, which is Eid, meaning you are a person who is eligible to sacrifice on Eid, then you should not clip your nails or trim your hair. Now Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not mention why that is. What is the wisdom behind it? It is a command that he shared with us and we have to follow that command. Now of course there's different madhahib, what is going to be the hukam in terms of is it wajib, is it sunnah, is it mustahab, etc. I'm not going to talk about that here. But some of the scholars have discussed the wisdom behind it. Now how did these scholars know the wisdom? They looked at Sharia and they tried to understand it from a very rational lens. And through their understanding of Islam, they can say that, okay, this has this benefit. It makes sense due to such and such. So what is the purpose, or I should say, what is the rationale for not cutting the nails or the hair in the first 10 days? The first thing we have to understand is that the first 10 days of Dhu'l Ḥijjah, and actually Hajj itself and the rites of Hajj, the actions that are performed in Hajj, are a commemoration of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, his sacrifices and that of his family, Hajar and Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam. So everything we do is actually a commemoration of their sacrifices, and we're supposed to think of their sacrifices as we do them, and these are the rites of Hajj. So amongst these rites is the udhiyah, or the slaughter. Now in the story of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam and Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam, Ismail alayhi salam is the dhabihullah, or the one who was going to be sacrificed for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam sees a dream that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows him, and he is shown that he is slaughtering his son Ismail alayhi salatu wasalam. And as we know, the dreams of the Prophets ﷺ are a type of wahi or revelation from Allah. So he tells his son this, that I saw that I am slaughtering you, what shall I do? And his son Ismail, he says, go ahead, slaughter me for the sake of Allah. If this is what you have seen, I believe in the revelation that has been sent to you. This is a command from Allah. So then Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam gets prepared to slaughter Ismail alayhi salam. Before he does so, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replaces Ismail alayhi salam with a ram from Jannah, which is the sacrificial animal. Now we are commemorating that when we sacrifice. So in the story, Ismail alayhi salam was supposed to be sacrificed, but instead Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted that action and replaced him with a ram. In our lives, when we commemorate this, we are in place of Ismail alayhi salam. Not that, of course, we are Ismail alayhi salam. We are commemorating that. So we are putting ourselves in that position, and we are doing ibadah, getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sacrificing for the sake of Allah. And we have to imagine that I could be sacrificed for the sake of Allah, and Allah out of His mercy is allowing me to sacrifice this animal in place of myself. So that is the wisdom behind the sacrifice. Now what about the hair and the nails not being cut? When we are sacrificing an animal, we want that animal to be in the most perfect state. And that is why you will hear some of the shuyukh telling you about the rules of the udhiyah. The animal should be such that the horns aren't broken, it should not have any bodily or defects, it should not have any injuries, etc. So you want the most perfect animal for your udhiyah. Now if you are in place of that udhiyah You want your nails and your hair to be more. You want more of your body to be given for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you allow them to grow, the hair and the nails, and that is more of your body being prepared for the sacrifice to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then on Eid, as a celebration, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows us to sacrifice the animal. Once the animal is sacrificed, we no longer have to be sacrificed, and now you can cut your hair and your nails again. So that is essentially the wisdom behind keeping the nails and the hair. It is so that more of our body can be presented to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gifts us the sacrificial animal which replaces ourselves. So we could be sacrificed for the sake of Allah. Out of His mercy, He allows us to sacrifice the animal instead, and we're allowed to partake and eat from that animal. I hope this was of some benefit. If it was, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Jazakumullahu khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.